Turki Alalshikh's confrontation with Canelo Alvarez highlights a clash between fair fight promotion and high financial demands, raising questions about priorities in boxing. In a tweet, Turki Alalshikh mentions that he has decided not to pursue a fight with Canelo Alvarez anymore. Instead, he will focus on organizing bigger fights in the US, especially for Terence Crawford, and will support matches featuring other prominent fighters like Boots Ennis, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and David Benavidez. Turki indicates that communication issues with Tim Tszyu's team are causing him to reconsider any potential fights involving Tszyu. Furthermore, criticizing Turki Alalshikh, Alvarez insists that any collaboration must follow his terms, potentially portraying him as inflexible or unwilling to compromise.
Fight. Look, I don't like the way he talk, and I'm not in this position because of any. I'm in this position if he wants to work with me, it's in my way, not in their way.
Canelo Alvarez stresses his respect for everyone involved, including Turki Alalshikh. While he acknowledges and respects Turki, he insists that any collaboration must align with his preferences. This emphasis on respect highlights his commitment to maintaining professional integrity, ensuring that all negotiations and interactions are rooted in mutual understanding. Canelo underscores that his dedication to respect is crucial and non-negotiable, setting clear expectations for how he should be approached and treated in the boxing world. Moreover, responding to Canelo's aggressive stance, Turki Alalshikh responds to Canelo's comments about respecting him but not liking his business methods on X. He starts by saying that he doesn't care whether Canelo respects him or not. He then explains that his way of doing business is to arrange big, exciting fights at fair prices. Turki thinks Canelo doesn't like this approach because it means tougher, more challenging matches, and Canelo prefers easier fights. Turki also mentions that Canelo's preference for easier fights probably started after he lost to Dimitri Bivol. According to Turki, since that loss, Canelo has been looking for less difficult opponents and avoiding tougher fighters like David Benavidez or Terence Crawford. Turki believes that during negotiations, Canelo was just wasting time and making excuses by demanding very high amounts of money that couldn't be paid. He thinks this shows Canelo wasn't really interested in fighting. Moving further, in an interview, Oscar De La Hoya was asked to reflect his view on Turki Alalshikh backing out of Canelo-Crawford fight.
Pretty special.
Hey Oscar, you donated not just for charity for school, but you donated fight tickets for Virgil coming up.
Yeah.
And I know that you were at the fight, for Crawford match.
Right.
Seems like Turkey's not interested in making Canelo Crawford, maybe Virgil Crawford, Virgil.
Oscar De La Hoya criticizes Canelo Alvarez for asking for a huge $200 million to fight Terence Crawford. He believes that by asking for such a high amount, Canelo is showing he doesn't really want to fight. Oscar says this kind of demand is bad for boxing because it stops fans from seeing great matches. On the other hand, Oscar praises Turki, who he thinks is doing things right. Turki makes sure the best fights happen by offering fair payments, not crazy amounts. This way, fans get to see the exciting fights they want without the costs getting out of hand. Oscar thinks Turki's approach is good for boxing because it focuses on making fans happy and keeping the sport healthy. Moving forward, Canelo Alvarez has stated that he would be willing to fight Terence Crawford if the financial terms are right. He has claimed to have been offered $150 million by Turki Alalshikh.
Fight hype. I just want to ask you, what do you think about Terence Crawford? What do we think about Terence Crawford's performance, and do you want to get a fight with him?
If the money is right, I mean...
$100 million? I heard Turkey offered you a big money already.
150.
150?
Furthermore, Canelo Alvarez calls a potential fight with Terence Crawford easy money, sparking controversy and questions about fairness and competitiveness.
Fight you.
Everybody.
Everybody wants to fight you.
Yeah.
Now, I saw at the end of the Crawford fight, the how they call him, the excellency. Yeah, Turkey. His excellency.
Alvarez's focus on financial incentives raises questions about the true motivations behind these high-stakes fights. By emphasizing that he would fight Crawford if the financial terms are favorable, Alvarez underscores the significant role that money plays in his decisions. This focus on financial gain can diminish the excitement and purity of the sport for some fans. He further highlights this priority by noting that he takes more than 80% share of the earnings, which may make it seem like he's more interested in the paycheck than the competitive challenge of the fight. Additionally, Alvarez expressed his dislike for Terence Crawford's movement-heavy style, indicating that he doesn't enjoy fighting opponents who move a lot, as it makes the fight less exciting. This preference for more straightforward opponents suggests he may be avoiding the technical challenges posed by Crawford's dynamic approach. In an interview, Terence Crawford, he criticizes Canelo for consistently fighting smaller opponents.
With all the antics that Canelo is doing and saying in the media and whatnot, about the size and he won't get no credit and and all this type of things, but Canelo been fighting smaller guys his whole career. Canelo been making his own catch weight for years. You know, Canelo fought a smaller Mayweather. Canelo fought a...
Referring to weight class difference and money issue, Crawford added, "I'm pretty sure he didn't make as much money with all those guys, except Mayweather, even Berlanga right now, that he will with me. But yet and still, you know, he have all these excuses why he don't want to take a fight with me. If it's all about business, then you doing good business." Crawford elaborates on the financial demands Canelo Alvarez has set for a potential fight, revealing that Canelo is asking for $200 million to fight David Benavidez and $150 million to fight him. Crawford interprets these figures as evidence of the significant threat he poses to Canelo. He argues that Canelo's reluctance to face him, coupled with the high price tag for the fight, reflects Canelo's awareness of the risk involved. Crawford believes that if he were to defeat Canelo, it would have a substantial impact on Canelo's legacy. He points out that moving up in weight and beating Canelo, who is the reigning champion in a higher weight class, would be a notable achievement. This situation underscores the magnitude of the challenge Crawford represents, suggesting that Canelo's fear of losing to him and the potential damage to his legacy are driving his hesitations. In a casual conversation, Canelo Alvarez expressed his frustration to Eddie Hearn about how his name was being used to promote the upcoming Canelo Alvarez fight. Canelo was upset because he felt that his name was being leveraged in a way that didn't sit well with him. Eddie Hearn responded by apologizing for any misuse of Canelo's name. He acknowledged the issue and expressed regret for using Canelo's name to generate buzz for the fight.
You're talking the whole meal fucking week.
So we said we have to use your name to sell the show.
Yeah.
You know.
That's what I think.
Good? Good?
Yeah.
Good. See you in a minute.
Crawford expresses his displeasure with Hearn's statement, feeling it undermines his own achievements and reputation. He considers it disrespectful, as it implies that his bouts are not significant or appealing on their own merit and need Canelo's name to attract attention. Crawford argues that Hearn's remarks are an attempt to diminish his accomplishments and to suggest that his fights lack independent appeal. He clarifies that he was concentrating on his own fight preparations and did not rely on Canelo's name for promotion. Adding to the debate, in an interview, Telegraph's boxing correspondent Gareth A. Davies discusses the potential matchup between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez following Crawford's recent fight against Israil Madrimov. Gareth A. Davies admits he was wrong initially to support a fight between Crawford and Canelo, noting the unrealistic challenge of Crawford moving up 6 weight classes. Regarding the feasibility of the bout, he added, "I just think the size difference will be too big. The power difference will be too big. I'm not saying I don't want it to happen, but I think I was wrong about, having it ASA fantasy fight. It's a little bit, I put it in the same category as saying to see Naoya Inoue against Tank Davis. Yes, it's just too big a wake. It's one weight division too far. If Canelo and Crawford could have been at middleweight some time ago, then I think it would have been doable." He also discusses the financial aspect of boxing, mentioning that Canelo requested $150 million to fight Crawford, referring to it as easy money. This highlights how money can significantly impact which fights are made. Davies notes that boxing is currently in an exciting phase with many major fights occurring. Although some matchups are more aspirational than realistic, there is a strong push from fans and promoters for thrilling events. Davies suggests that Crawford might consider a fight against someone like Boots Ennis instead of Canelo. He believes this would be a more feasible and fair matchup. Davies emphasizes that while dreaming of big fights is exciting, it's also crucial to consider practical and fair matchups within the sport. Former professional boxer Robert Garcia expresses skepticism about the feasibility of a Crawford versus Canelo fight, especially after Crawford's recent performance.
That's too much, moving up 2 more weight divisions, 2 more. Thank you, my man. Thank you. I don't think it's going to be, I don't think that'll bring that.
Robert Garcia discusses alleviation of Terence Crawford in weight class to fight Canelo Alvarez, noting that it would be a significant jump for Crawford, moving up 2 weight divisions. Garcia believes that after Crawford's recent performance, interest in the fight might have waned. He suggests that if Crawford had more decisively defeated his last opponent, the idea of him moving up to fight Canelo might have been more compelling. Garcia argues that Crawford's recent performance makes it difficult for people to believe he could effectively challenge Canelo, emphasizing the substantial size and weight difference between the 2 fighters, which complicates the matchup's appeal to the audience. Former professional boxer Gabe Rosado claims that Canelo is far superior to Crawford, and Crawford's recent win was barely convincing.
A way better fighter. So, Crawford won the fight, I think, by a round or 2. You know what I'm saying? So, if Canelo's landing those kind of shots, can Crawford take that shot?
According to Gabe Rosado, Canelo Alvarez's superior skills and extensive experience make him a formidable opponent. Rosado expresses skepticism about Terence Crawford's ability to withstand Canelo's powerful punches. He questions whether Crawford has the resilience and defensive capabilities needed to endure the kind of shots that Canelo can deliver, given Alvarez's proven track record of strength and knockout power. Gabe Rosado suggests that Terence Crawford might need to alter his strategy if he fights Canelo Alvarez. Instead of adopting the aggressive approach he used in his last bout, Crawford might choose a more defensive stance, opting to stay on the back foot and allow Canelo to come to him. This strategic adjustment could enable Crawford to set traps and exploit openings created by Canelo's forward pressure. By fighting defensively, Crawford could use his speed and counterpunching skills to capitalize on any mistakes Canelo might make while advancing, potentially turning Canelo's aggression into opportunities for scoring points or landing significant blows. In addition, AKOYE believes that Canelo would likely win if they fought. He refers to the common saying in boxing, "A good big man beats a good little man most of the time." This means that even if both fighters are skilled, the bigger, stronger one usually has the advantage. AKOYE thinks that Crawford, who is known as one of the best boxers pound for pound, would struggle against Canelo because of the size difference. Following Crawford's last fight, AKOYE doesn't think Crawford has the power to hurt Canelo or make him worry about the punches. Because of this, AKOYE isn't very excited about the idea of a fight between Canelo and Crawford. He believes that the hype around this potential fight was meant to create excitement, but Crawford's performance didn't deliver what was needed to make people really want to see it. AKOYE says that Crawford's last fight was supposed to establish him as a strong contender in the middleweight division, but the performance wasn't impressive enough. Even though Crawford won the fight, it wasn't the kind of win that makes people think. AKOYE thinks that Crawford himself might realize this when he watches the fight again. He believes that Crawford, who is usually honest with himself, will likely see that his performance wasn't strong enough to make a fight with Canelo seem like a good idea right now. What are your thoughts on this intriguing situation? Should Canelo yield to Turki Alalshikh? We'd love to hear your opinions. Drop them in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want more videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and check out our other videos.